I lost my husband 7 months ago, and after he passed away, I found out he cheated on me 2 years ago.
Oh, no.
And that discovery shattered me all over again, and now I'm left grieving not just his loss, but the truth that I thought we had. And so how do I heal from the betrayal that comes after death when the person who hurt me is gone and the pain is tangled up with grief?
Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry.
No,
That's a lot of grief all at the same time. A lot of different kinds of grief hitting you at the same time.
for sure.
They talk about grief as a tidal wave, but you're drowning and you got set on fire at the same time. It's not supposed to be like that.
Absolutely.
How'd you find out about the affair?
I went through his phone,
Uh-oh.
the phone that I didn't have access to before.
Ah, okay. So this is tough because normally if you and I were just sitting down having nachos, we would talk through a lot of different avenues, but because we have a condensed time, I'm just going to jump in there. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Tell me about your marriage before he passed away.
I mean, when it was good, but I think there was a lot of red flags way before getting married. The phone was always an issue. It was always like, I never had access to that phone. It was always kind of hidden. So deep down inside, I think I knew.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, you think you knew?
Yeah, but I always kind of ignored it just because I didn't want to cause problems. And we have 3 kids. I didn't want them to see arguing or bickering back and forth. I don't, it kind of shocked me still, even though deep down inside I kind of figured, because why else would you hide your phone?
Right. Especially with somebody you made a life with, you made kids with, all that stuff, right?
Right.
Oh, man. So that's even another layer of grief. So you're grieving the loss of your husband. How long were y'all married?
15 years, together for 22.
How old are you?
43.
Yeah, so this has been somebody who's been with you more than half your life.
Right.
So let's sit on that for a sec. Hold on.
I
want to sit on that one for just 1 second. Like half your life.
Yep.
And even when the structure was wobbly, you still leaned on him for half your life, right?
Always.
Yeah. So there's a reality to that even though we found some stuff out about him, he also provided some structure in my life for a long time. Even if it wasn't great structure, and in retrospect, I wish it had been a different structure, it was what it was, and we leaned on that for 20 years. So we're going to just exhale on that for a second. And then we're going to grieve the fact that we kind of knew and we didn't trust ourselves for 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's a grief in the mirror, right?
Right.
And then we're going to grieve the fact that I won't use a bunch of expletives because he's your deceased husband, but this guy then cheated on me. Are you kidding me? After I sat with him, how did he pass away?
He had cancer.
Yeah, so I sat with him through cancer, held his hand as he left, and then I find that out, right?
Right.
And can I throw another grief in there? Now there's the grief that you're feeling about, I don't even know how to walk forward because I don't trust myself. I don't trust the person I spent half my life with. I thought I was protecting my kids, and actually I wasn't. Like all of that. Now you just don't even know what step to take. Is that fair?
Fair.
Tell me something you did right as his health was failing.
Well, I took care of him, no questions asked.
Tell me about that.
anything he needed. I catered to his every need. And I just feel like, did he do this because I was lacking something?
Nope. We're not, I don't want him in the picture right now. I want to talk to you. I'm trying to get in a real quick time frame. I'm trying to get, what kind of person are you?
I have no idea anymore.
No, you do. Keep telling me. When you say I catered to his every need, give me a couple of details of what that meant. Some people have never sat with somebody dying of cancer. What does that mean?
I honestly, I put myself on the back burner and took care of everybody.
Okay.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
I've got a glimpse. You're a protector. We could debate whether you did it the right way or quote unquote the wrong way, but you're a mama who did whatever she had to do, including stuffing every feeling she had down to her toes in an effort to keep her family together and protect her kids, even though she had an inkling that something wasn't right. You're a saint because you walked with somebody dying of cancer. What kind of cancer did he have?
Colon.
Okay. So that meant you were dealing with colostomy bag, you were wiping your husband, you were doing all kinds of things, right?
Right.
Yeah. And if someone's never sat with somebody in colon cancer, it's a disease that takes your dignity too. And you waded right through that.
Till the very end.
Mm-hmm. And that also tells me you were strong. It was scary to pick up that phone, wasn't it? Because you didn't know what you were going to find.
Oh, God. You have no idea.
Yeah. And so in just a few short minutes, I've learned that you're very, very strong. I've learned that you're a protector. I've learned that you are the definition of ride or die, even when your husband was not. And that tells me you're somebody I'm glad is in my community, in my town, in my state, in my country.
Thank you. No one's ever said that to me.
It's a high honor getting to talk to you.
Thanks.
And then the scariest proposition for you is, are you going to let what you found in that phone change who you are? Because we find out who we are when the chips are down. Right?
Right.
And you found out what you're made of. You're stronger than you thought humanly possible. So the question is, because you were with somebody, and let's don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, he probably had some great traits, right?
He did.
Which is what makes this all so hard and confusing, right?
Right.
You get to pick the narrative moving forward about how you remember him, and you get to pick what happens next in your life. Here's what that means. You can choose to say he was a complete and utter SOB bastard that I wasted 20 years of my life with a scumbag. That can be your story, and there would be some truth to that. That can be the story you tell his kids, your kids. That could be the story you tell your community, your family. That can be true. The story you can choose to ruminate on and memorialize is, I spent 20 years with a guy who both took care of me, and that dude had a bunch of demons. Because here's the thing, neither of those stories will impact his actions or behaviors. It will only impact how you sleep and walk through the world. So you get to decide how you remember him. And by the way, that story will unfold in multiple ways over the next month, years. You're not even a year out, right? The fog is just now starting to lift, right?
Right.
Like on the reality of money, the reality of safety, the reality of are we going to keep the home? All that stuff is just becoming really clear. And it's scary because even though he was a cheating jerk, he also was consistent, right?
Right.
He's always just there. This isn't always helpful. Everybody gets to decide what story they want to tell about whatever situation. But what I've found in my personal life is when I keep ugly, negative stories circling about the past, they don't do anything to change the person I'm making the story about, but it makes it harder for me to get up and walk through my day. And it doesn't let somebody who's not in your life anymore off the hook. It just frees you. And nothing can take away the hurt you feel right this second. Trying to run from it or hide from it or numb it. I mean, it will resurface somewhere in your life. You'll be angry. You'll snap at one of your kids, right? You'll feel it coming out all over the place. So the only thing you can do is honor it. Find a couple of your girlfriends that thought he was just the greatest guy in the world and tell them. Have that honest conversation. And be totally honest. Tell the ugly stuff and also tell the good stuff because it's all true. And then let me ask you this. What's your next move? Do you need to leave your home? Are you going to get to keep the house? Did you have life insurance? What's your plan?
No, we get to keep the house. So that's where we're staying, like me and the kids.
Awesome. Are you going to have to go get a job?
I still have my job, so
Okay.
we don't. And then we get he had a pension and stuff like that. So that's all. That stuff isn't an issue.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah. So you get the privilege, the earned privilege, just being sad for a while.
Yeah.
And I guess what I would tell you as your new friend is trying to make sense of things that are not sensible only make you crazy.
Right.
But let me make sure you hear this one more time in just a few minutes. I've heard that you are strong beyond words. I've heard that you are a fierce protector, even to the point that you'll sacrifice yourself and how you feel and what you know to be true for those 3 knuckleheaded kids. And you are as ride or die as ride or die is. Because you held the man's hand as he slowly withered away. Can you hear that and hold that?
Yes.
Okay, because that's true also. And maybe you're going to come up against some times when you want to be reflective about, I don't know, maybe I was mean to him. Maybe I always yelled to him. Maybe I didn't sleep with him enough. Or maybe I was always complaining. Maybe those things will emerge, but that's not for today. It's 7 months ago, and you had a new trauma 2 months ago or 1 month ago. Let's be sad for a bit. And in our grief, let's create some boundaries. I'm not going to go drinking. I'm not going to go down rabbit holes. I'm not going to Google everything. Let's create some boundaries so that we can stay safe while we're grieving. I'm not going to vomit all over our kids. I am going to get some women in my life to just sit down and talk with. But I think you, quote unquote, move on. I don't know that you move on. I think you just continue to do the next right thing and grieve honestly with all of it. Here's my promise, Sarah. You call me anytime and I'll put you back on the show. You're in a long season now. A long season of wondering if every ailment you have is cancer, wondering if your kids are going to be okay. All that stuff is coming. But I think for today, let's just be sad.